Welcome to Humane Experience PJ Talks. This is going to be the first episode of our exclusive PJ series where we're just going to get a little bit more personal with you guys, answer the questions that you guys want us to, and interact with the audience more. But for today, since it's our first episode, we just wrote out some questions or some topics to go over with each other. And we both wrote down 6 and we put them in the box. So we'll see how many we can get through. We're thinking maybe like 3 or 4 of them.
We wrote out questions, like just general topics, and you might have wrote a dare.
Oh, I did write a dare. I was actually cracking up about that. I hope I don't get it. I was hesitant to write a dare because I was like, I don't want to be the one that draws it. But just in case Kylie does, it was worth writing one dare, so stick around because maybe she'll have to do that dare.
Well, it's funny because we both wrote one thing that we didn't want to either answer or do, and then we also were kind of thinking like, oh well, it's kind of Russian roulette with these questions. If we're meant to do it or ask it, it's gonna happen. So
yeah.
We just wanted to make these, like, PJ Talks a little more fun, and so our questions are in this box.
Mm-hmm. We've got the box first, so do you want to draw the first question?
Sure. I wish we could have Brandon do it.
I know.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I gotta close my eyes.
Yeah,
okay.
Because our paper looks a little different.
Do I have one? Okay. Yay! Why are Hailey and Kylie besties?
Oh, that's such a good question to start with.
I know! That's a good question. Okay, so I'll answer first. We became friends because you found Anthony and I on social media doing animal rights activism, and I think that's really cool. But why we're friends? It gets so much deeper. Like, we met because of a common interest and appreciation and passion, and then like, it was so cool to become friends with Hailey because she's the kind of person that is loyal as hell, and she's super sweet, and I just feel like she's the type of person that, like, no matter what, like, she's gonna match my energy on the effort that I put in as a friend. Like, my whole life I've wanted a best friend that, I don't know, maybe is as much as me or something. I've always felt like too much and I didn't expect like that much out of friends, but I always wanted that. And like, I just feel like I'd have best friends or friends that like we'd end up like dwindling apart, and it was really sad and really hard for me, and I never understood like why. But then I make friends with Hailey and I'm like, oh my gosh, it was so that I could have room for this amazing amazing friend that like matches me. And like, we were both going through a hard time when we met, and I feel like we needed each other so much. Like, I was going through a lot, and I ended up just, like, hanging out at your house or your place that you were living at all the time, and I was just, like, coming over, like, every day, and then I was helping you with stuff, too, and I don't know, it was just really awesome. So, like, I think that we're best friends because we have a lot of passion, not only for the things that we became friends for, but we have a lot of passion for each other now.
Yeah. I feel like neither of us had any girlfriends around when we met and when we started hanging out, so it was just healing to my soul, not only to have, like, a vegan friend, but also just, like, a close, like, girlfriend who, with you, I never felt like you were judging me for anything or, like, looking down on me in any way, and I didn't feel like you were threatened by me or standoffish in any way, which, like, a lot of girls can be that way.
Yeah,
not to talk down on women, but just like,
right.
Like
we get so comparative with each other sometimes, and I think it can be kind of an instinct, but it's so important to like work together and find people that make you feel good. And I'm really grateful that you're someone that I've found, because I feel like we can face the world together and make our dreams come true. We don't need some man to do that, because we've talked about that before.
We're just told, like, we're not good enough on our own. And that's true. Like, you can't do everything on your own, but you can still have friendships and relationships in your life that aren't romantic that still are able to fulfill your needs emotionally. And that's, I guess, something we forget sometimes.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that we found that with each other.
And people take their friends for granted a lot too. Like,
yeah,
it's so common where someone gets into a relationship and then they stop making time for their friends or their family or like the other people who are going to be there for them no matter what, because they get so wrapped up in like this new person. And I think it's just really important to nurture your friendships, because those are people who aren't like with you for an ulterior motive. I mean, they might be, like, not every friend is perfect, but if you have a true friend, they're in your life because they care about you and because you bring value to each other's lives. So
yeah, I totally agree.
I think I should draw my question out of the box.
No, I think that was good. Thank you.
Oh, and Kylie is just amazing. Such a beautiful soul.
Aww.
Make people around you happy and feel good about themselves.
I'm blushing.
Okay. Oh, I got one of yours too. Embarrassing childhood story. The first thing that came to my mind is really weird, but I'm like, I guess I should say it because it's the first thing that came to my mind. Yeah. I think I was in, like, first grade, maybe kindergarten, but, like, yeah, it was either kindergarten or first grade. I was in class, and we were, like, sitting on the ground watching our teacher do something, and I guess, like, whatever, like, the pants I had on were, like, down, like, riding down a little bit. And so, like, I guess, like, my butt crack was out and some kid, like, stuck his finger, like, down my butt crack.
You know what? If he's asked that story in the future, he's gonna tell the same story because, like, why did he do that? No, like, it's more embarrassing of him.
And I guess there's, like, probably, like, much, like, worse things that have happened to me in my life. But because I was a kid, that memory just, like, stuck with me. Because that's, like, the first time I remember feeling super embarrassed.
Yeah, I probably would too. It's so funny though, like, kids always, like, aren't paying attention though. You always see kids, like, pants falling off and you're like, hey.
I know. I was just like, the fact someone did that to me,
that was
like,
his
so
instinct to
yeah.
like, I'm gonna stick my finger there, okay. Kids are so weird. Unfiltered.
Your turn.
Oh wait, do I gotta answer that one though?
Yeah, because you just asked me if you have to, now you do.
Okay, well I had a first one and then I had one that was, like, less embarrassing come to my mind, so I should probably say the first one that's more embarrassing.
Yeah, say whatever the first thing, because that's what I did.
I was, like, older, so it's, like, embarrassing, but anyways, that's why. It's an embarrassing story. So, when I was in 5th grade, I cared way too much what other people thought of me, and I, little people pleaser and wanted approval, and I'd always been kind of a dorky kid, so I finally got to hang out with the cool kids this one day, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to leave, but I have to pee so bad. And I had to pee, like, so bad. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna pee my pants, I need to go, but I'm hanging out with these cool people. Like, why was I thinking that? So I end up being like, oh, I cannot wait anymore. So I start running to the bathroom, which is very embarrassing in itself. I'm, like, running out of recess, like, back inside, and I get to the bathroom, I don't make it. I pee my pants. It was so embarrassing. I, like, had to walk all the way to the office and be like, can I call my mom?
What grade were you in? 5th grade. That would be rough.
Yeah, I was,
but
like,
did anyone
10.
notice? Like, did anyone see?
I don't think anyone noticed. And I tried to just ask my mom to, like, get me a change of, like, clothes, but she was like, no, let's go home and, like, shower. She was really nice about it. She was like, you need to shower and stuff, so you don't stink, and just say I took you out for lunch, And, like, then I come back, and I go back to class, and my friend's like, where were you? I was like, oh, like, my mom took me out to lunch, and she's like, you didn't tell us that you left, you just ran off. And I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah.
What if those friends are watching this right now?
Now you know the truth. And then I was
They're never
thinking...
gonna hang out with you again, Kylie.
They don't anyway.
You're so lame.
Well, it's funny because then I go back to class and I'm sitting next to this, like, my crush at the time, and I was like, I am so glad I went home and took a shower so I don't stink right now. My mom was right. Okay. Okay. How to tell if someone is a true friend. Oh, we both did friend ones.
I know. I didn't. That's the one friend one I did. Both of our friend ones got drawn, like, right off the bat.
Cute. Okay. How to tell if someone is a true friend? That's a good question. Because I think we think a lot of, like, red flags in relationships, but, like, it's, like, what are red flags in, like, a friendship? Like, very, like, transactional. If, like, things feel like... If things feel like you're giving a lot and they're just taking, that's definitely a good way, I think, to tell that, like, they aren't a true friend. Because, like you were saying, like, a true friend is going to be somebody who cares about you and cares about your well-being and wants the best for you. And, oh, this is a good question.
No.
Because, like, I feel like I've had a lot of situations where, like, I grew up and I thought people were good friends, but I feel like, a true friend is gonna be, like, there for you, like, regardless of what you're going through, and, like, be supportive, and, like, and what I mean by that is, like, you know, you're gonna mess up, you're gonna make dumb decisions, you're gonna be like me and, like, make silly romantic decisions or whatever, and, like, a true friend isn't gonna make you feel bad. And just try to be there for you, and just, like, even if they express, like, some harsh opinions, like, it's gonna be out of love, and because they care about you, and they don't want you to get hurt or whatever, like, at the end of the day, you know that, like, you're their main concern, and not putting you down or making you feel bad, and stuff like that. And, like, that's what I feel like I get from you, you know? Like, I can tell you anything, I can tell you all my dirty laundry, and you don't make me feel stupid, and you don't make me, and you tell me, you're like, I don't think you're stupid, like,
Right.
Just make decisions sometimes, and...
I wouldn't say I'm ever, like, harsh on you, but, like, if I ever am occasionally, it's just, like, out of care and concern.
Yeah.
And so it also depends, like, why people are saying things and how they're saying it, because sometimes people will frame something as constructive criticism when really they're just, like, trying to tear you down.
Yes, and that can totally be a difference. And then sometimes, like, when you get really passionate about someone and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want you to be hurt by this person anymore or something, sometimes I feel like the way that they react can come off kind of harsh, and I feel like I've done that in the past. Yeah. And so I'm like, you know, like, I wouldn't automatically discount someone for that, like, try to read between the lines and be like, why are they, like, reacting like this? Is it because they care about me or because they want to hurt me? So.
Yeah. And I've had friends who were like that as well, where it's like, once you're going through a hard time, it's kind of like they're, like, gone, like, they distance themselves, and, like, they might be like, oh, you're making bad decisions, but it's like, that's when we need our friends the most to, like, actually tell us, like, hey, I care about you, this is how I see things, I think you shouldn't be in this situation, or you shouldn't be doing this, but it has to be done out of, like, care and concern, not just, like, judging them or pushing your friends away.
Yeah, and I feel like that line can be, like, so thin, at least, like, feeling, like, the way that you perceive it, sometimes, because, like, you know, sometimes, like, if we make really hard decisions that we shouldn't be, or we're in situations that can be really harmful to us, a relationship, doing drugs, like, you know, stuff like that, like, sometimes, like, the way that people come at us can feel really, like, harsh, and, like, I've been in a unhealthy relationship, and I wish someone had said something to me, but I think about it and I'm like, how would I have taken it at the time? Like, I feel like you gotta try to, like, be really careful with those kind of situations, but a true friend is gonna try really hard to meet you where you're at and just let you know that you're loved and supported so that they can help you feel safe to get out of that situation or whatever, so.
When you do push your friends away because you don't agree with their decisions, or your family, like, there's, like, you know, parents who do this too, where, like, you know, they don't approve of how their kids acting, they push them away, or friends do this to each other, whether it's addiction or, like you said, bad relationships, whatever it is, it's gonna push that person further into whatever their addiction is or whatever that bad relationship is, because now that feels like all they have because their friends and their family no longer support them.
Yeah, I think that's so important to... I like that this episode is kind of, like, talking about how important friends are. When you have a good support system, like, you can get through anything. And having good friends is so important, so.
Yeah, so true. And when you don't have a good support system, it's hard to get through anything. And a lot of times we lose our support systems when we, like, go through hard times and
yeah,
need to
and then
build
it makes
those back
it
up.
Even harder. Yeah.
Did you draw another topic? Okay. We have still a handful left.
Well, you gotta shake it so I can dance.
Shake it, shake it, shake it. Is this one? Yes. Okay. This is such a random question. Okay. Would you rather be alone forever or marry a serial killer?
Well, that seems like a simple answer. It should be. Like, are you meaning, like, alone, like, no contact with anyone ever
you know
again?
what? Okay, so, like, I wrote this question. I don't even know what my answer would be to it, but I wrote it wrong. I didn't mean to write a serial killer. Like, what I wanted to ask is, like, someone who's murdered somebody, like, once.
Oh, okay. And what do you
And
mean by,
like,
alone?
So, like, you either have to, like, never, like, date anyone or, like, fall in love again.
But you can still have friends and stuff. Like, you're not secluded on
but,
the
like,
island.
you can't have sex.
Okay.
I might have to bleep that. I don't know. Can I say that?
We'll have to look it up.
Okay. Well, you can't have that, and...
Okay, no sex, no dating, no relationship.
Or you marry someone who once murdered somebody.
See, now I'm gonna get all complicated in the gray area because it's like, well, I guess you answer first.
I got the question. For me, I think it would depend why they had murdered someone.
That's what I was gonna say.
Because if it was, like, self-defense, or the person was, like, evil, or, like, putting others in danger, then that'd be one thing. But if it was for some, like, messed up reason, then it's like, I'd rather be alone than be with someone like that.
Yeah.
But it would also depend on a lot of factors, just, like, who they are as a person. Like, they'd have to be, like, a really cool person for me to get over that, even if they are my only option, you know?
I think I'd rather be alone, but I do agree with, like, the, like, it depends on the reason. Because even with, like, the serial killer, I'm like, what if they're, like, Dexter? But I'm like, still to be that okay with, like, killing someone, like...
It's creepy.
And would they...
You don't want to, like, sleep in bed, like, cuddled up next to someone who, like, is fine with killing people. I couldn't do a serial killer. Never a serial killer, but, like...
Yeah, and I feel like it would turn into, like, that's what they are into, like...
Well, what about people who are in the military and might... kill someone? Like, people still marry them, and, like... Okay. I think people in the military do have higher rates of, like, domestic abuse.
Yes.
Which makes sense, but...
It depends on the person, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't mean they're bad people.
Yeah, because, like, there was, like, one of my friends who, like, I did not like her baby daddy, and then I, like, heard that he would brag about, like, killing people when he was in the military, and it's like, that is not the kind of person I'd want to be with. But like, if someone was in the military and like came back and was like kind of realizing how messed up that whole system is, I know that's kind of a taboo thing to say, but look into it, okay? They do that for money. That's a fact. Anyways, like, you come back out of it and you realize, like, oh crap, that was bad, I feel really bad about what I've done, like, that's different, you know? And, like, if they're wanting to kind of, like, heal from that, like, I don't know, I like helping people heal from things, so I don't think I'd mind that. It just depends on the person and their perspective, I guess.
Yeah.
We've all done messed up stuff that we don't feel good about.
Mm-hmm.
I guess killing's pretty intense, but, yeah.
Okay.
It's a deep question. Okay.
I was trying to be like silly. Like, I was trying to be silly, and that was me trying to be silly. It was like really deep.
Talks about the military. Dun, 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 moving on.
Keep it light.
Okay.
Oh, I hope she gets the dare. I hope.
It is yours. Let's see here. Oh. Aliens.
It's a topic.
Cool. Okay, that's the first one. That wasn't like a question. Okay, I don't know, I threw it on the floor.
You like, screw this question. We already know what's up.
Okay, so I remember, like, I'm just gonna start, like, way back. Like, I remember as a kid, like, people would ask me, like, do you think that there is life outside of Earth? And I'm like, I thought that was the weirdest question to ask me. I'm like, okay, the Earth is, like, its own living being. The universe, the sun, like, everything works the way that it is because it's life in some way. And you're gonna ask me if I think there's other life out there? Like, that just seems like a wild question. Like, it seems like, to me, it feels like, duh, of course there is. Like, and there's so many things that we don't understand, so it makes more sense for there to be than there to not be.
Yeah.
That's my perspective.
No, I was the same way as a kid, like, not exactly same perspective, but whenever people asked me, like, about aliens or if I believe in them, I automatically was like, yeah, there's definitely aliens. Like, I actually thought I was an alien for a while. Like, I don't know, I had some pretty, like, crazy dreams as a kid about, like, visiting space and interacting with aliens and stuff. Some crazy dreams that were very vivid and stuck with me. It's almost.
Do you want to talk about one of the dreams? Or, like,
yeah, I
think that's really cool.
So there was one, I had it when I was, like, 6 years old. I know my mom was blow drying my hair, and then I lifted off the ground, and I blew up into the air, and I remember the front door of our house, like, blew open, and I flew out the door, and then, like, up into the sky, like, up, and it kept getting higher. And
sorry to interrupt, but, like, that episode of SpongeBob where he uses the hairdryer to, like, blow up his pants, that was you. Okay, continue.
My pants were fine, but I was flying, I was floating through the sky, and then I get up to space, and I'm just, like, looking around, and I start walking, like, through space.
Wow.
And I was walking for a while, like, just looking for any sign of life, and finally I saw, like, a pyramid in the distance, like an Egyptian pyramid, and I, like, walked up to it and walked up the steps, and I knocked on the door, and, like, this alien came and opened the door, and he talked in, like, another language, but it translated in my head, and, like, he, like, asked me if I wanted to join them from dinner, and I'm not from around here. And it was just, like, all these, like, aliens, like, eating dinner, but I was scared to eat the food, so I went and, like, sat, like, under this little, like, table by the door, and I was just waiting for, like, someone to come, like, rescue me from space, and...
Started getting a little scared. What's going on here?
It was crazy, and it felt like I was up there for, like, 100 years. Like, the time was, like, so, like, warped, and...
Whoa.
It was crazy.
That is trippy.
Yeah, I also was nicknamed Hailey by my family.
Whoa.
Yeah. I don't know why. Probably because I'm an alien.
I don't see why else not.
But that's what my brother told me. He's like, oh yeah, you know, we, like, call you Hailey, and it's because, like, you're not from here. Like, you're from another planet, and like you're adopted. It was like that, like you're adopted thing that older brothers do, just but like on
You're
another
an
extent.
alien.
Like you're adopted from another planet. Like I had a name for my planet and everything. I don't remember
Dude.
anymore, but
No, you know what's crazy is my little sister said the same thing. She would tell us when she was like 3. My mom wrote it down, so I remember like little pieces of it, but she said, I remember her name. Her name was like Telemina, and she said the planet she came from, and she would tell all these stories about like where she came from, and she doesn't live there anymore, and then she came here, like all this stuff. Like,
yeah.
why is a 3-year-old even talking about that? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's so interesting.
I think it's possible that we have like memories from past realities that we've lived, or maybe from our ancestors, or like
Yeah.
maybe we have moments too where we're able to tap into other dimensions.
Yeah, because I totally believe in like parallel universes too. Like, if there's parallel universes, there's a me and other dimensions. And
think about like every decision we make throughout our lives. Like it's possible that there could be a parallel dimension for every decision that we could possibly make.
Crazy to think about because we make so many decisions
Every day, yeah. And then if every single person on this planet has a parallel reality based on every single decision that they make throughout the day, think about how
Just
many
one
parallel
day.
realities there are. And then it's not just the humans too. Every ant that makes a decision creates a parallel reality. Because even like ants still have the ability to make choices.
Whoa. Like, it's crazy because I've heard this theory before.
Really?
Many times.
I haven't like heard this theory, but I'm just like thinking about it now.
Really? I've heard it
Yeah.
before, and every time it blows my mind because then I think about it and I'm like, whoa.
I mean, I guess I've thought about like parallel realities and universes, but I just haven't thought about the fact of like how many are actually out there.
Yeah, the capability of it, like,
Potentially, you know.
that's pretty crazy. I don't know, but that's the thing is, like, people get so set on the idea that, like, only what we see and what logically makes sense is reality.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so much more than that. There's so many
Right.
things we don't understand. There's so many things we don't understand about our own Earth, our own
Yeah.
bodies. There's no way that there's, like, more to the universe that we, like, don't understand, you know?
There's more we don't understand than that we do understand. There's stuff that we're not supposed to have access to. Like, I believe there's, like, senses that we don't have. So we're not able to perceive certain things. I mean, I don't just believe that. There are senses we don't have. Like, you look at other, like, animals and they have, like, senses that we don't.
Yeah.
Or, like, heightened senses in certain ways. And, like, you know, there could be a way to, like, sense, like, energies like we do. But it's, like, what if we had another, like, appendage, like our nose right now smells? Like, what if we had, like, a third eye on our head that could like see people's auras and like see people's energies? And it's like some people kind of do to an extent, but it's like everyone's is like a different strength.
Yeah, well, and I think too, like, I think that there's things that we're able to sense and we don't use them, and so it's like a muscle, it's weak, you know?
Oh yeah.
So
I think our intuition is a big one of those, because we're taught like our whole lives like not to listen to our own intuition.
And we're taught to just listen to
whatever
society,
we're told to do, authority.
System and authority, yeah, exactly.
And then it's like we rebel against authority, and so then our intuition becomes warped in a sense too, because now it's not our true intuition, it's us trying to do the opposite of what we're told because we're being crammed into a corner. And it's just like,
yeah,
people need to be able to live their life, live their purpose, and be a little more free.
And something I've noticed about intuition, like, people will be like, oh, it's that gut feeling. And the interesting thing is like, you can also feel fear in your gut. And if you're only making decisions based on fear but calling it your intuition, like,
we need to trust ourselves more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think me and you were talking about how, like, sometimes we feel like we are self-sabotaging situations when it's actually our body protecting itself.
Yes.
And we're, like, judging ourselves, like, oh, why did you, like, blow up that relationship? Or why did you, like, quit that job? Or whatever change you made in your life, it's like maybe it happened in a dramatic way and you're like, oh, I self-sabotaged it. It's like, no, you ignored your intuition for so long that like your body like freaked out and you had a mental breakdown, and or like you finally were pushed over the edge and you had a reaction. You finally had to make a decision.
Yeah, for sure. I think that if we don't listen to our body, it manifests in interesting ways. Like, my dad worked at a job that he didn't like for a long time, and he didn't feel good about it. He felt like the job was doing things that weren't moral. And it was causing him migraines like crazy. Like, he was getting migraines every single day, and he quit, and he stopped getting them every day.
Yeah.
So I think that our body tells us things whether we listen or not.
not.
And if we don't, it gets louder, you know? Like, you start getting headaches every day, start doing this. Like, yeah.
True.
So.
It's my turn.
How much of that was about aliens?
Some of it.
Some of it.
We can't speak too much. They're listening.
I hope it's the dare.
I hope it's not. I'm not gonna do it if it is. Oh, thank God. I was scared because it was a longer one. I was like, no. No. I like... We have to keep going till you get it. Okay. Why did I ask such deep questions? I was trying to be silly.
I kind of did too.
Is there anything you would do differently if you could go back in time?
That's deep.
I know. Why did I ask that? I feel like there's just like two different ways I could answer this, because it's like I could go back and nitpick so many things that I should have or could have done differently. I've made a lot of bad decisions in my life, but the thing is, they all were lessons for me. And like, I appreciate all of the bad decisions I've made.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be able to look back now and say, oh, I would rather do this differently, unless I had made that decision to begin with and gained the perspective that I did from it. So it's like, you know, we're not here on earth to live a perfect life or be perfect people, and we're not here to live in regret either.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy my life. That doesn't mean I don't want to, like, ever hold myself accountable for anything I do.
Yeah.
But there's never any reason to sit and beat yourself up for stuff that you've done in the past. And anyone who tries to sit and beat you up for things you've done in the past is like someone who should not be in your life.
Not a true friend.
Not a true friend. Because like you said, we've all done things that like we regret.
Yeah.
But there's no reason to sit and dwell on it. Like, if you need to talk about it, you need a vent, like, go see a rabbi or a priest. No, I'm just kidding. You should be able to talk about it, but it's like...
Yeah, with your friends.
But no, there's nothing I would do differently, because, like, I love where my life is now, and, like, even a few years ago, I couldn't have seen myself, like, being where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of the, like, messy things I've done and, like, the, like, wrong decisions or, like, bad decisions that I've made that were, like...
Yeah.
Maybe looked bad from the outside, or I wasn't doing what, like, everyone else was doing. I don't know.
I love your answer. I had something in mind. I was thinking, like, how, like, I've kind of hurt people based on, like, talking about things too much and dramatizing my feelings and unintentionally, like, trying to, like, because I wasn't listening to my own intuition, and so I was seeking, like, external validation, I think, a little bit too much because of situations that I was in where I didn't talk enough and I didn't listen to my intuition, and I, you know, was in a toxic relationship where I was being, like, mentally abused, like, emotionally, and I think, and I didn't want to talk about it because I was like, oh, I don't want anybody to think this person's, like, bad or anything, and so then, like, now I've, like, unbalanced that, and talk about things too much. So that was the thing that I thought about. But I really like your answer, because then, like, recognizing that, like, that balance that I've created in my life has given me an opportunity not only to, like, learn from it, but also, like, learn how to repair things, because that's where I'm at right now, is, like, trying to put things back into balance, and instead of running away from a problem, being like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna face this and work through it with the people that I've heard or whatever, you know. And yeah, I just really like what you said too, because it reminds me of, like, something my grandpa would say. I think I told you this recently, that we're gonna regret things that we've done, but there's not a deeper regret than things that we wish that we did. And then my dad, he says, you know, it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. And I totally tie that into, like, the regrets thing. Like, I would so much rather experience things than miss out on the experience.
Yes.
And feel like I made a bad decision. Because then I know better. I got the experience out of it, and I know. And life is about learning, I feel like, so.
Right. I don't feel like we're here to just, like, sit in a little bubble and be comfortable all the time and never experience any pain. It's just, like, I appreciate the pain I've experienced in my life. I appreciate the hardships. I appreciate the bad decisions that I've made, and the fact that I'm not perfect, because it's like, perfect people are so boring.
Nobody's perfect. They just pretend.
People who pretend to be perfect are so boring, and, like, we should just accept the fact that we're not, and we're messy and silly and weird. And it's okay to be that way.
I think that is the best way to be. I can't be friends with somebody who isn't weird. Or pretends like they aren't weird, I should say. We're all a little weird.
I think we should do one more question or two.
Okay.
How many do we have left? Because we can't answer all of them. That's, like, spoiling people. Okay, we've still got, like, 6 left. So I say let's do, like, 2 more.
Okay.
Okay. I hope I should just sit there.
Oh wait, I looked. Oh, here's the question that I didn't want to answer, that I wrote. Okay. I don't know why I don't want to answer, but also it's just a lot. Okay, what do you think about religion? Which is funny, because this is something I've been really enjoying talking about lately. It's just,
It's a broad question.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, like, for a long time, ever since I left, like, being religious, because I grew up Mormon, you know, I just kind of thought, like, okay, organized religion is controlling, and, I think it's a way for a lot of people to, like, feel good about themselves without making good decisions. And I think that is, like, valid, too. Like, I still agree with those things. But I don't think that's all that it is. I think that you can be a religious person without going to church, without going to a religious building or organization. Like, I don't know, I've been having some really interesting conversations with people lately about religion that's really, like, made me think more about these kinds of things, and push away from the idea that it's, like, I'm either anti-religious or I'm religious. Like, I feel like more in the gray area of, like, being more of a spiritual person, and realizing that you can be, like, religious and spiritual without practicing the rituals, I guess. Like, without going to church and doing whatever practice that you do, like, because it's about your connection with, I don't know, God, the universe. I'm still trying to figure out what I believe, I feel like, but I like to just, like, say the universe because that's something more tangible to me.
Yeah. Religion has always been used to control people, like you said.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of wars fought over religion, and I see it as a way of people, like, taking advantage of spirituality in a way. It's almost like a perversion of spirituality because you're, like, forcing it to be something that it's not. And I also think it's heavily involved with the patriarchy because I see spirituality as very feminine, as it's, like, free-flowing and it's not contained. And then religion takes that, like, free-flowing spirituality and tries to contain it while at the same time pushing women down because they typically aren't put in positions of power. A lot of churches are more progressive now, but, like, you know, I grew up Mormon too, and so we know that the Mormon church is not very progressive towards women. And the fundamental framework of most religions aren't. It's men dominating and controlling women and making us further believe that we're dependent on them. In the Mormon religion, I believe, like, you have to, like, marry a man to get into heaven. Isn't that true? Or, like, you have to, like, have his kids and be married?
That, I don't remember it well enough, I feel like, but that makes sense with what I do remember. Like, you know, it's like you gotta get married and have kids, as many kids as you can.
Right.
And, like, get married in the temple. And, like, for example, it's not like you can go, like, marry someone of the same gender or whatever, like, in the temple. And you gotta get, like, approval from the bishop to, like, get married and go to the temple. Not get married, but, like, go to the temple,
Yeah, well, I remember, like, a couple of older women, my grandma being one of them, being, like, really sad because she didn't believe she'd get into the highest tier. I don't think it's that they can't get into heaven, but you can't get into the highest tier because there's different tiers in Mormonism, and she was like, I'll never get there because, like, I'm divorced. Like, I knew a couple older women who were worried about that. But then it's also, like, the priesthood, like...
Yeah, you have to be a man in the Mormon church to get the priesthood, which is basically, like, being able to, like, use this healing energy, I guess.
It's a direct connection to God, and only men are, I guess, worthy of having that direct connection to God. So, again, it seems like a way for men to, like, take women's spirituality, put it into a box, and then diminish it. And I had some people who were pretty, like, patronizing to me about it because I started complaining about how women don't have the priesthood when I was a teenager.
I asked my mom about that too. I didn't appreciate it either.
Well, I started asking my bishop about it. I started talking about it in class, and, like, these boys were getting really mad at me. But, like, then one of them was like, women don't have the priesthood because, like, they're more, like, important than men. Like, they're, like, more spiritual because, like, they have babies, and it's just, like...
That was kind of how my mom answered, too. It was something about having babies.
Only men can have the priesthood, and, you need it for baby blessings. If somebody is sick or, like, needs to be healed, it's the men in the priesthood who administer that. And then there was the family proclamation to the world, where they kind of explain that women's role is to be a good wife and mother, and it's just a lot of pages, basically, of brushing over the fact that they're just saying we're a step below men, we're inferior.
And they pretend like it's better because we can have babies.
We get the pleasure of, like, experiencing one of the most painful things on earth, emotionally, physically, mentally, like...
I mean, I think it can be a beautiful thing, but when your partner honors you as an equal, and I personally haven't experienced that, so...
Yeah, a lot of people, unfortunately, are in marriages or relationships with men who don't see them as equals because we think, like, women have come so far, we can work now, we have all the same rights as men, But in reality, there are still so many men whose mindsets have not progressed at the same rate that society has and the laws have. And there's so many people who still have backwards views towards women, whether it's conscious or subconscious, that they do believe that they're better than their wives or their girlfriends. And
I think that religion is a big part of that. Like, it does not... I think that religion enforces that belief a lot.
Well, they expressly say from the start of the Bible that Eve is cut from the rib of Adam.
Which doesn't make any sense that women apparently make these babies, right?
Right, like, because women are the ones that are, like, creating life, not men. I mean, we do it together, but if it were either one, it makes sense. And then also all people, like, biologically start with female anatomy.
And why... So there's
womb.
that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then it's like, and why do we perceive God to be a man? It makes so much more sense for God to be a woman.
I think it doesn't make sense that God would be human. Like, why would God have to piss and shit? Why would he design himself? Like, he, it, she could be...
They...
is everything. It's everything
thinking,
all at
like,
once.
How
like,
controversial would it be to call God a they?
God is a they.
I know.
God is a they, them.
God is, and God is. Goddess.
Gender neutral. Get with it. Get progressive religion.
Why
Let's start a church where our God is, like, gender neutral, pansexual. Our pansexual sun god.
Sun. Yes. I can get with that.
We said, okay, wait, we said, like, only one more question after this, but I want to do two in hopes that you'll pick that dare.
Is it my turn?
Is it...
Oh, wait, no, I picked the religion.
You pulled the religion one, so I have to pull one more, but then I'm going to make you do one more.
Alright.
And it's... Oh, God. I pulled a dare. I'm literally going to cry. Like,
only a true friend is going to mess with you this hard.
Fave.
Sorry.
Fave vegan food from restaurant. Right now, it is the poke bowl from Hearty Beet. The Hearty Beet is our one vegan restaurant in town, and they have this beet poke bowl made with marinated beets soaked in soy sauce, I think, or coconut
aminos. Yeah, they're so good.
And rice, edamame, and like seaweed and pickles, and this really good sauce on top.
Yeah, it's a cashew sriracha, and she makes it herself, the owner of Hearty Beet.
She makes everything from scratch. Oh, I'm hungry now. I want more of that pie, too. That's not from a restaurant, but our friend Anthony...
One day, Ant Dog is gonna have a restaurant, and he's gonna make pecan pie, and that's gonna be my favorite thing from a vegan restaurant from the future. Definitely one of my favorite things is the beet poke bowl. I ate it today. It's so good.
I'm jealous. I ate one yesterday.
I know, and then you watched me eat it today.
I was like, no.
This is one that I think of that's, like, one of my favorite, like, foods, like, ever. There's a restaurant that was in Las Vegas that closed down. I can't remember what it's called right now, but, it was, like, a mac and cheese burger, like, vegan mac and cheese, and, like, I can't even remember what else is on it, but it was the best fucking burger I've ever had.
That sounds so good.
In my life, it was so good, and I went back every single time. Like, I would want to try different restaurants or even different things, but I would get to Vegas and I'd be like, this is all I can think about until I get this mac and cheese burger. I need to get it right now.
Wait, it's in Vegas? What restaurant?
No, it closed down.
Oh, no.
The restaurant closed down, but I want to try to make, like... I feel like it was sort of like a barbecue sauce type, like, burger. I don't know.
That's why I'm a tacotarian. Every time I go to Vegas, I eat there now, but I'm like, I want to go to Plant Power. I want to go to all the other places. I saw they have this place. I don't think it's fully vegan. I think it's like they just have a vegan menu, but it's like Korean barbecue and it comes on like a aisle. But apparently they cook everything in a separate kitchen and stuff, so that's cool. But there's so many places to go in Vegas. Now that we're like thinking outside of town, I'm remembering this place I went in San Francisco that was called, I think it was just called Vegan Lasagna, and it was a hole in the wall, like literally it was like a hole in like a brick wall. And you had to like park under this
lasagna.
Yeah, we had to park under this like bridge in like an alleyway and like walked up to like this hole in like a brick wall, and they just like give me like this like tinfoil like square, and it was the best lasagna I've ever had in my life. It was so good. I always think about it and I want to go back there.
I love lasagna. I want to make some now.
Well, we have time for one last question.
Okay.
I'm really gonna hope that Kylie pulls my dare. I'm like, is it even in here? Like, I'm getting concerned. We have
the
like
edge of your seat.
Oh my gosh. Okay, close your eyes. Close your eyes.
You're like, this feels like cheating.
Fine.
Drops it. Wait. Alright, I picked one of yours. I dare you to lick Brandon's foot. He walked away.
I'll go get him.
He
Brandon.
knows. Oh my gosh.
I hope he's like in the litter box right now. Oh no, he's eating food. Let's let him eat for a minute. I'll let you mentally prepare. How do you feel about licking Brandon's foot?
It's not great. I know where he walks.
This is gonna be fun. Do you see why I was cracking up now?
Yes. It's a good one. I was like, what is she gonna do? Make me shake my butt? Like,
do that next time.
Next time. I know, yeah. So, like, while we're waiting for Brandon, make sure and comment below questions, topics, dares that you would like to be in our next PJ Talk.
Yes. We would appreciate it so much. If not, we're gonna have to come up with our own questions again, and that's a lot of work. Just try to help us out, please. I think Brandon's done.
Or maybe we're just so wild with our questions that they're like, let's tone it down.
Right, maybe they want us to be more wild.
That's up to you guys, I guess. Ask away.
He's back. Brandon.
Alright, Brandon. Come here, buddy.
Mr. Boy. We love you. Let's get like right in front of the camera for this. Let's like get a close-up on his foot so we can see if it's dirty.
Look at these little toe beans. Okay. Like my nails are dirty now.
Wait, did you do it?
It's kind of salty.
Ew. Ew, that's so gross.
It is. He shook his leg.
I can't believe you did that. Oh my god, that was so good. I'm so glad that was the last question.
I'm gonna go brush my
Now you can go brush your teeth.
So make sure to subscribe, like the video if you liked it, and tap the bell to get notifications so that you know when we post.
Bye.
Bye.